So we're in Clovis, California, and we are trying to determine what is leaking underneath the sink. The only place that we can see water coming out is going to be back on top of this iron pipe stub out. It's not a water leak because it would be leaking right now, but when we turn the faucet on, we get water that rolls down out of that hole. So we got water coming, you can see that. So I don't want to flood it too much, but it's pouring out of that hole. And so what it tells us, we got some water in a waistline that is not sealed correctly for whatever reason, and it's sitting up above this portion. So the only way to get started is to open up this skin on the back of the cabinet, open up the drywall, take a look at the fittings, see what's going on, and then we'll take another video when we decide what kind of repair is needed in here. Okay, so we're still here in Clovis, and what we've got, I'm not going to run too much water, but just so that we can document what's happening right here, we're just going to do a little bit of water and then shut it off, and you can see it immediately drain out of the pipe right there. What's happening, you can see there's a Durham T. It's a cast iron fitting, so the top and bottom, it's a no hub connection, so they got bands on there. But then the outlet is threaded so that you can put an iron pipe nipple in, and that's just the way things were plumbed back in the day. Unfortunately, the iron pipe nipple that's stubbed in is broken all the way through. So I just wanted to document that real quick, and we'll take another video when we're done. So third part of the video here, we're still in Clovis, California. We did manage to get this galvanized iron pipe nipple out of that cast iron T. So there's the cast iron T back there, and it's a no hub fitting. So like I said, band on top, band on bottom, threads in the side, and that was typical for installation. Above that's going to be iron pipe, and could be iron pipe going down through the floor. We're not really concerned about that because we believe this is our problem right here. So you can take a look, that iron pipe nipple, even where it was threaded into the fitting and all the way out, had corroded all the way through. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take some of that stuff, scoop it out of that T, and then we're going to grab an ABS adapter, some ABS pipe, a brand new tubular trap kit. They've got one that's out in the front that we disassembled, but we're going to go ahead and just put new stuff in there and get it tied back in. That way we know we got no trouble. When we leave, everything is going to be good, and then we'll take another video when we're done. Not a big fan. Okay, so fourth portion, we went ahead and cleaned this out. We should have looked at it first, I guess. It would have been a smart thing to do, considering the damage here on this pipe. We cleaned it up with a wire brush, and you can see the threads on the bottom of this fitting are corroded through. So there's no ridges, there's no valleys left. And the problem with that, I'm guessing, you know, if that was on the top side, you maybe would have a problem because all the water's on the bottom side. But since it's dead bottom, we could thread something in there, but I can almost guarantee you it's going to leak. And so then we've wasted all this work. So we're going to have to open this wall, cut the, I think I can see down there, or actually iron pipe. I have to cut the iron pipe down below and up top, put a new T in, glue everything back together, and then go from there. We'll take another video when we get done. So we got the back of the cabinet open here, and it is accessible. The vent does take off almost immediately, but we can get that nipple. There's like a 4-inch, 1.5 by 4-inch galvanized nipple in there. We can get that cut and get a band on there, and then make a transition down to a 2 by 1.5 ABS sanitary tee, and then another stainless steel band on the bottom to get the galvanized tied into that. So we're gonna make a run, get a few more parts, get this tied back in. It'll be solid plastic. Of course, you know, get tied together, and everything will be nutted when we're done, so you'll be able to disassemble this quite easily because they're going to need to get back in there, you know. Okay, so we're still in Clovis, California, and this is the final phase of the work. It's completed. So what we've done is we've gone ahead and replaced this fitting here. And the problem that you've got, and let's see if I can get a nice little video of this. Right on the bottom, you can see that the threads have been eaten away. And that corresponds with the other piece of pipe that the threads and portion of the pipe were gone. It was sitting right on the bottom. So you can see the nice valleys and ridges on the inside of this fitting, but when you get to the bottom, it's gone. That's from water just sitting there. And so if you try and screw something in there, what happens? It's going to leak. And so that creates a new project, which is simply cut this all back out and then get back in there. And what we've got is stainless steel bands. Those are code, top and bottom. You can see the 2-inch on the bottom to the 2-inch iron pipe. Up to Schedule 40 ABS 2-inch, and then the band, and a 2 by inch and a half ABS sanitary tee, up to another stainless steel band, which is again, those are rated for iron transition as opposed to the other, which is for cast iron only. We came out with a little short piece of pipe, Schedule 40. Nipple about 4 inches long, put a trap adapter on, and then came over to tubular piping. We got 2 coats of piping here. We went to Lowe's shopping, and so they got a white trap for us, which is great. A telescoping kit is black, which is great. No problem. But anyway, so everything is now nutted, and it's got a little washer in there, so this can all come back apart. All of this, all the way up to the basket strainer. So nut belongs to the existing basket strainer. That's a new tail piece we installed, new telescoping kit over to the garbage disposal, and then existing ring mounting gasket or mounting flange, the chrome portion there with the screws, that came with the garbage disposal, but we did reinstall this. Believe it or not, there is a piece of pipe that telescopes in and out of this housing. You just can't see it here. So just a little piece stubbed out, and that's what seals the top hat or portion of this tail piece is what seals to the rubber gasket in there. So that we've run water down both sides, no leaking there. Over to the telescoping kit, one little extension right there, down to the trap, a little bit of goop, pipe dope down there. We like to do that. It's not, they're supposed to seal because it's plastic, but we put it in there just for insurance. So everything else is tied back in, run water down both sides. Everything looks good. And outside of that, this installation is done.